sheet, among others. Number 55, Tim Standifer. 73 car, sponsored by A&I Roofing, Big League. And special thanks to Kendrick Campbell, the 73 car, Tim Phyllis. And over to the 4 car, owned by Bud and Eddie Miller, sponsored by Don's Auto Parts. The 4 car, Eric Graham, the 23 car. Young 16-year-old Sean Andrews in his first main event ever. Sean sponsored by Starburst Auto and Fortuna, Russ Biasca, Don's Rentals, as we're set to go green. There's the green. In the third one, Cossie and Tucker take that outside line around Bill Cossie in the 21 car. McCracken follows him through, and then it's Olson slipping by. Butler caught in traffic as Drury makes his way around Cossie. Graham tries the outside lines. Already, Drury tries the high line. Graham all come together. Doesn't look like any serious damage. Tire marks and a little crunch on the right front of Bill Cossie's 1970 Nova. So, and now we're going to check and see if we've got them back in their original order. That's what we're trying to do here, is put these cars in the original starting position. Carburetor. That's the big limiting factor with the motors. Now you can put a lot of time, effort, and money into trying to build a lot of horsepower, but how much air and fuel you can get into the motor is the ultimate factor, and that's an equalizer to try and keep them all competitive. Cars really starting to bunch up now. Butler on the inside, Cortopassi on the outside, as we get set to go racing. There's the green. In the 74 Chevelle leads him through turn 1 and 2. Butler right behind him as Murray takes the high line. Lonnie Tucker, Rusty Olson, Tim McCracken, and Tim Phyllis all moving around back there as well. Phyllis and McCracken come together. Buick Regal, Cortopassi started to stretch out that lead. Mark Murray caught on the high side. The high line doesn't seem to be working very well tonight, although Olson in the 16 car says he'll try it on Tucker. Olson making that Camaro work as he makes the move on Butler. And Ronnie Tucker on the inside says he'd like to stay up there on cars. 30 laps of racing, so still a long ways to go. Tell how close these cars run together, very evenly matched. Some terrific competition as Phyllis, McCracken, and Graham all coming together. You do see some contact. Now Olson challenging for the lead, gets around to the outside. And Olson picks up the lead on lap number 5. And with the strength of that car, we would guess he may start to pull away from the rest of the field. Some of the qualifiers still caught back in traffic. Tim Standifer at this point very willing to just run things sort out in front of him. Standifer in the T-Bird now starting to try the outside line on McCracken. And Butler is caught up there as Graham moves around. And the black flag being shown for the 4 car and shaving McCracken. And now he exits the track. Second, third, fourth, fifth place. Cortopassi trying to stay in front of Tucker in the 29 car. Tim Phyllis also there. Graham in the 4 car. The battle now for that second spot as Olson begins to lap the field. Gets around Bill Cossie. Cortopassi trying to hold back everybody. Tim Phyllis in the Regal goes to the outside. Phyllis has got some running room now. Picks up second place. And Graham follows him through. There's your leader, Olson. Now over half a lap over Phyllis in the 73 car. And Tim McEwen giving a look to the 28 car of Tim McCracken. Maybe a problem developing there, but McCracken stays at speed. And the battle now continues for second, third, and fourth place as Tim Standifer starts to make himself known out here. And looks like with the leader. Apparently he was just kind of waiting around for some of those problems themselves out as Kossi gets a little wide in turn 1 and 2, but hangs on. Saw some sheet metal come off one of the cars, but it landed in the infield. Battle really heating up there in the back of the pack. And Olsen has things to himself now as he passes the yellow car. And now the Dixon flag apparently out for the 28 car, Tim McCracken. You see a problem on that car as he tries to get off the track. Lap number 12 underway. There's your leader, Olsen. Second place, 73 car, the Buick Regal of Tim Phillips. Then it's Eric Graham in the 4 car, and Tim Standifer in 55. Moving their way around Sean Andrews. Portapassi trying to hang on as Glenn Shurey tries to challenge on the back straightaway. Shurey in the Camaro gets surrounded. And Kossi in the 21 car says he's going to take things in and check it out here, lap number 13. Closer to the halfway point. Look out, Olsen may be having some problems. We showed some smoke as he came out of turn 4. Watch him closely. Maybe that was just tire smoke. He doesn't seem like he'd have to lean on it quite so hard here with the lead he has. And the battle right now is Eric Graham in the 4 car trying to see if he can find his way around Tim Phillips. Tim Standifer says, I'll try the inside line. Standifer in the T-Bird. And now, watch closely as the Olsen leader comes into traffic. He's got a lot of work in front of him. He's going to make it through. And now Graham in the 4 car picks up second place as Olsen tries to make his way through the pack. Look out, Phillips and Standifer coming together. And yellow flag comes out. So Olsen will be the leader, and second place to Graham. And Glenn Shurey, I believe, as they are still racing back to the yellow tempo now in turn 1. Standifer, a victim of that in the 55 car. Phillips in 73 out of action. Earlier, Tim McCracken apparently having something go wrong in the rear end of that car, getting the fixing flag. Bill Kossi in the 21 car also out of action, so these cars do take a little bit of a beating out here. And we're just about set to go. Looks like one more time around and we'll turn them loose. Eric Graham in the 79 Pontiac Ventura body. He's got the front ramp off that car. Might have picked up some body damage earlier tonight. Shurey in the 11 car is third. Then Portapassi and Butler. Top 5 cars are in line out of turn 4. There's the grade. And Olsen gets in trouble. Graham goes right by him. Glenn Shurey into third. And Olsen spins the car around. Graham will put him a lap down as he gets back underway. And out of turn 3 and 4, Olsen now a lap down with leader Eric Graham. Glenn Shurey in second place, then Portapassi and Butler. And look out as Sean Andrews takes a little excursion into the infield. And Sean very slowly taking a look at getting back into action. And he will go yellow. Sideways. Well, if you're going to get the car out of shape as a rookie driver, sliding into the infield is not a bad place to be. You know, good tonight. The Bud and Evie Miller owned Pontiac Ventura. And remember, Olsen is a lap down. Shurey is your second place car. Then Portapassi and Butler. And there's the race. Lap number 20 underway. 10 laps to go. Scheduled for 30 laps. Olsen would very much like to get around Graham and then hope for a yellow flag. If he could do that, and he could be back on the lead lap, he's trying to get his lap back. And Olsen would like to get that lap back, but Graham holding on very nicely through 3 and 4. Right up on him. place, Cortopassi and Butler. And Glenn Shorey is pretty much lying himself in second place as he comes into 3 and 4. Everybody seems to be staying out of trouble here as our first three stock event of 1989 begins to wind down. Graham really putting some distance between himself and Glenn Shorey. Although Olsen sure is making it exciting. There's a moving right up on the now Redwood Butler trying to make a move on Mike Cortopassi in the 47 car. He'd like to pick up third place. Not a bad finish if he can do it. And Olsen gives Graham a shove, and we're 3 and 4. Graham tries to get back on the track, back to the line, reset to go. There's a flag on the 16 car. Rusty Olsen in the 16 car, given that black flag. Now, we want you to understand that under NASCAR racing, the black flag is a consultation flag. He will be sent to the pit and given his instructions. Yellow flag coming out on lap number 25, and Olsen in the 16 car still staying out there. The black flag is a consultation flag. He will have to go to the pit area and get the judgment of the officials from that area. Olsen making contact with the leader, the 4 car of Eric Graham. And now a scorer's nightmare here. I believe the way things are sorting out that Shorey in the 11 car, despite that problem, will have the lead. Mike Peoples goes out there. I think he's going to shake that black flag at the 16 car. Let's see what happens. Yep, there it is. And Rusty says, okay, he tries the high line, and I think he's going to pull it in this time around. Graham, the victim of that incident, being tapped by Olsen, but not much you can do about that. That's racing, folks. So Glenn Shorey out in front. Mike Cortopassi doing a great job, finds himself in second place, and then Butler and Murray, Graham, Tucker, and Sean Andrews. Cars remaining in the field. And a consultation going on between the Tim Machula and our scorers. And the indication is we're going to go racing. Boy, I sure hope we get this one in. I don't see a star or a moon in the sky here. In 3 and 4, we'll look for the green this time around. And there's the green, single file restart. Shorey out in front. And immediately, Graham of the 4 car tries the outside line, and he's got a lot of horsepower and handling there. He may be able to make a comeback. Graham takes it right to the wall and gets it on Butler. Let's see how he handles 3 and 4. And Shorey starting lap number 26. Eric Graham on the outside of Cortopassi, challenging the 47 car. Graham picks up second place. And Graham and Shorey are going to shoot this one out for our first main event of 1989 in the street stock division. And Graham immediately gets right on the bumper of Shorey. Glenn may be slowing down a bit. He sure looked like it out of that turn. I imagine he's going to try and keep that inside line and make Graham work for it. These two are raced against each other before. And Shorey will put it up. And we're into lap number 28. Graham tries the outside line. Doesn't have quite the horsepower. Now he's once again up on the top side. Comeback. We'll be looking for the white flag next time around. As they come out of 3 and 4, final lap on the way. Graham takes it way high. There's one more time around. And still some competition for 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. Cortopassi, Butler, and Murray. Shorey and Murray. spectacular finish. Graham and Shuri both slid through turn 4. Mike Cortopassi said, I'll take this out of the car. Mike Cortopassi. And Mike picking up the win in the heat races and the main event. Boy, that's going to be one that's going to be talked about for a while, as Shuri and Graham both got out of shape on the very last lap. And for a special whirl toy, we're going to do a drawing right here. And the pace car comes around here, and he will exit probably this time around, and we'll get set to go. Interesting how this fog has come down here tonight. Earlier today, at least around the Eureka area, there was enough precipitation or moisture, mist, if you will, in the air that could have caused a problem if that had continued tonight. Of course, these cars running just completely slick racing tires. There's no tread on these tires per se, so if we did have even a light mist or rain out here, we'd have to slow it down and wait for that to stop before we can get back to full speed. Lights are out. We could see a green this time around. Tim McEwen looks them over. Mark Murray, Mike Cortopassi, front row, looking good out of turn 4. There's the green. Everybody hurries into turn 1. Look at that scramble. You can see a little contact here and there. Cortopassi takes his Chevelle right to the line, holding that outside line with Tucker on the inside. Mark Murray leads him around. Butler on the inside of Graham. These cars, as always, very evenly matched. And once again, running 2 by 2 down the back straightaway. Long ways to go, 30 laps of racing. Tim Phillips now getting on the inside of Richard Butler. And the one car, Steve Henderson, may have a problem. And the one car, Steve Henderson, moving very slowly down the front straightaway. Cars starting to sort themselves out. Cortopassi puts it right up against the wall and loses a lot of ground. Mark Murray leads him around. Lonnie Tucker in second. Glenn Shuri trying to hold down his lead. And that front bunch of cars is just going at it. As Tucker in the Olay, the Chevrolet Oldsmobile, look out as Graham and Butler come together. Eric Graham having a problem. And now we see the yellow as Stanford spins out in turn 2 on the McCracken. The yellow flag comes out. Here on lap number 5, everybody's spinning around. Initially, the problem started with Graham being involved on the back straightaway, and then we had a couple more cars getting out of shape in 3 and 4. Stanford. And let's see how they, I'm guessing that Mike Cortopassi may have a problem. Look at that left rear tire is all the way gone. He's going to get the fix-it flag, I imagine. He probably knows it. You can see that car does not look right, and the left rear is all completely off that Pontiac Ventura. Mike Cortopassi all out of action at the moment. Tucker will be your leader, and Tim Phillips in the 73 car. Second, then Shuri. Standifer in the 55 car. We may show the indication for one more time around. Yep, there it is. One more time around. It will go green. Take a real close look at the right front fender of Tim Phillips' car. You see he's got some racers tape on there to help with the body. If it's on a race car, it's racers tape. If it's not, it's duct tape. You know, it's semantics, really. In 3 and 4, they'll start to get on the gas right about now. Tucker's the leader out of turn 4. They look good so far. There's the green. And Tim Phillips very quickly tries that outside line, but Tucker hangs on, gets a little sloppy. Phillips goes to the inside. And Glenn Shuri follows him through. For the moment, Tim Standifer is going to settle for good place. Look out, Bob Wallace sliding around. Butler slides around, no contact. And we do not see a yellow. All the cars are back underway. The leaders trying to get back underway down the back straightaway. dust down there as Butler is going to try to hopefully not get lapped. He's not even going to make it. He's going to go right down to the leaders. Brett Curry and Standifer as Butler goes a lap down. And here's the 70 car of Bob Wallace. He managed to stay on the lead lap. And now Tim Standifer trying to move up on Glenn Curry. There's the lead car, that 89 Buick Regal. Car number 73, Tim Phillips. Also the 71 car, Mark Murray, is back on the racetrack. He will be a few laps down. As the leaders come down to the 9. Number 9. And the leaders now in traffic. Phillips gets around Murray. Standifer will use some traffic. He may be able to get around Murray. 3 abreast in third, 3 and 4. And Tim Standifer picks up second place. I believe the 16 car of Rusty Olson goes sliding into the infield. We can't even see him because of the dust. And we're not sure what brought that all about. The yellow flag is out. And we saw Murray just slide right across into the path of the 16 car. And Murray's car, there may have been something breaking on that car. Really hard to figure out. He just plain got out of shape and went right to the infield. And the yellow coming out on lap number 10. Sean Andrews in the 23 car back in competition. He will be laps down. And obviously something going wrong on the 71 car. Otherwise, you would think you would have been able to get back into action. The car sliding through the grass. Don't think he made any contact with that Phillips. Actually, Phillips, though, had, I think, second fast time here. So he's no slouch here with the 55 car of Standifer setting that track record. And down to turn 4. Here we go. There's the green. And Phillips in the Buick Regal will try to hold back the Ford T-Bird. Immediately, Standifer gets on the inside. And Tim Standifer picks up the lead here in lap number 11. If that car is hooked up as well as it was earlier tonight, will start to lengthen out that lead. Olson in the 16 car trying to pick up on the car rest of the field now. I believe that the 16 car may be a lap down. That's unofficial. And yeah, that is the indication at this point. The 16 car is a lap down after that melee into the infield with the 71 car. Standifer starting to lengthen out his lead down the back straightaway. Phillips very comfortably in second place. Ken Curry and McCracken now in fourth. Tucker would be your fifth place car with the last car of Olson to win. And we're halfway there, 15 laps to race. And down the back straightaway. Competition happening as those cars through turn 3 and 4. And the 16 car of Rusty Olson, he'd like to unlap himself with some of these cars out here. Watch that T-Bird Tim Standifer. He is just running so smooth. I just don't think there's any way anybody's going to catch him unless he has a major problem. Although Tim Phillips seems to be staying pretty well with it, losing ground slowly, but really had a major problem. As Shirley goes around the outside of the Sean Andrews car. Sean going a lap down. He's several laps down after being in the pit area. And the battle now is Olson trying to unlap himself from the third place car of Tim, or fourth place car of Tim McCracken. Number 19. Your leader, Tim Standifer, in the Coors Light Silver Bullet. He'll be working on some more traffic as he starts lap number 20.
Yeah, you get the power taken.
And now Olson uses a little traffic to try and unlap himself from some of these other cars. place car, the Buick Regal, Tim Phillips, then Glenn Shirley in the Camaro. Fourth place still held by the 28 car, the Camaro, Tim McCracken, then Tucker. And then I think it might be the 70 car of Bob Wallace. I'm not sure he is on the lead lap, though. Lap number 22 underway. The leader, Standiford, has been himself in the T-Bird, although he's going to have to do a little work on John Andrews as he comes out of turn 4. Things starting to settle down. Standiford had some mechanical problems in our main event 2 weeks ago. I don't believe he finished main event after setting another track record earlier at 12. So he'd like to put the Coors Light bullet in the winner's circle, and he may be able to look at see some dramatic changes. And now Phyllis caught behind some lap cars. Let's watch him work the traffic. He gets around Wallace, squeezes to the inside of Andrews. Now, Tim Standiford is going to try and put a lap on what I think is about the fourth place car. Fifth place car, Connie Tucker. Tucker may get a little bit of a challenge. And Standiford takes it to the outside. Car also kind of caught in traffic with Wallace on the outside and Andrews right in front of him. Landon said, hey, I really would like to get around you guys. Can you give me a little running room? Okay, now look at all those guys all tied up. Olson trying to unlap himself. He tries to squeeze by on the inside. Lap traffic becomes a factor toward the latter part of his race. And Standiford now gets around McCracken. McCracken was there's your leader. Tim Standiford very easily working his way through traffic. Second place car crossing the line, Tim Phillips in the Buick Regal. Third place car is the 11 car of Glenn Shirley. Then fourth place on the lead goes all the way back to the 28 car of Tim McCracken. That's unofficial. And Standiford now down the back straightaway. He will be looking for the white flag and 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go will be the line. Standiford looking for his first win of 1989. And there's your second place car. Tim Phillips in the 73 car. Then back to 11 Glenn Shirley as they all get the white flag. Leader is through turn 4 right now. Here he comes. Checkered flag. The field coming by. Second place to Phyllis in the 73 car. Unofficially, Shirley would be third, and I'm going to take a wild guess that maybe the 28 car of Tim McCracken would be fourth, but that is strictly unofficial. Tim picking up some main events, and of course the 88 track championship. And our track by A&I Roofing out there at Breakout Industrial Park and 4th Street Market, Del Porto's Deli. An 81 Camaro in the winner's circle earlier tonight. Car number 70, Bob Wallace. And car number 55, sponsored by S&S Plating, Lennon Brothers Auto Machine, Arcata Muffler, Tom Sourdough Pizza, Resale Lumber, Arcata Body Shop, Arcata Auto, 1988 T-Bird, the Coors Light Silver Bullet, car number 55, Tim Standiford. Row number 2 on the inside, sponsored by Butler Bookkeeping and Tax Service, Redwood Towing Service, John's Automotive, Redway Tire, Don's Auto Parts, Randall Sand and Gravel, Williams Chevrolet. Thanks to Roger, Woody, Al Burns, Greg, Eric, and the crew. From Redway, a 1977 Chevelle, the 41 car, Richard Butler. Car number 71, sponsored by Murray Motors, Cash Oil, Grunert's Plumbing, and A1 Radiator Battery and Muffler, one of our fine Fortuna merchants. As a matter of fact, Murray Motors, for tonight's Speed Stock Challenge, the 1979 Trans Am. Car number 71, Mark Murray. Car number 47, sponsored by Ken's Custom Muffler in Fortuna, the Dipstick in Fortuna, Tony Goslin and Sons Tires, Chandler Building. Special thanks to Bill's Graphics and Burns Auto and Truck Repair. And special thanks to Wormy at Peterson's 4x4. It's a 1974 Chevelle. From Fortuna, car number 47, Mike Cortopassi. Car number 29, sponsored by the Dipstick, Hamburger Junction, Western Auto in Fortuna, AGS Auto Electric, A1 Radiator Battery and Muffler, Ken Peterson's Muffler and Humble Tire and Wheel. It's what they call an Olay Oldsmobile body, Chevrolet chassis and engine. Car number 29 from Fortuna, Lonnie Tucker. Car number 28, picking up his first heat race win ever at Redwood Acres Raceway earlier tonight, sponsored by the Sidetrack, K&M Glass, T&W Taxidermy, Tom Sourdough Pizza, RAO Construction, a 1981 IROC Camaro. Car number 28, Tim McCracken. Car number 11, sponsored by AGS Auto Electric in Fortuna, A1 Radiator Battery and Muffler, Tolt Construction, Eel Valley Construction, Fortuna Paint and Body, Big Lee's Elliott Service Center. A 1981 Camaro. Car number 11 from Fortuna, Glenn Shurey. Car number 73, sponsored by A&I Roofing, Big Lee's, and special thanks to Kendra Campbell. Car owned by Jim Kerrigan. 1989 Buick Regal, the 73 car, Tim Phillis. Car number 1, sponsored by ARE Racing Engines, Lennon Brothers Auto Machine, K&M Glass, Big Lee's Auto Dismantling, Jamie at the Big Lee's out in Fields Landing, and Sheeman Automotive, the one car owned by Al Berkey. Car number 1, Steve Henderson. And back to car number 4, sponsored by Don's Auto Parts, Redway Tire, John's Automotive, Performance Engine Parts, L&M Renner Incorporated, Eureka and Garberville. Drywall by Master Plan Construction Services, Redway. Also sponsored by Kevin Knox, Union Oil Service in Garberville. Car owners, Bud and Evie Miller. A 79 Pontiac Ventura from Garberville, the 4-car Eric Graham. And over to car number 16, fast qualifier tonight, sponsored by K&M Glass, Napix Auto Electric, RAO Construction, 1981 IROC Camaro, the 16 car, the driver from Eureka, Rusty the Rooster Olson. And back to the 27 car. Thanks to Larry Woodhurst for building the motor and to Tom Helgerson for helping put the number 27 on the racetrack. Car owned by Sonny Kiesner, and the 27 car driven by Pat Walsh. And over to number 7, sponsored by Simpson Timber, California Body Shop, Fortuna Union. Special thanks to everybody, Jeep and all the rest of the crew. It's a Dillon chassis. 88 Buick Regal, car number 7, Matt Kunkler. And over to the 23 car, sponsored by Starburst Auto in Fortuna, Russ Fiasca, Don's Rental. Anderson Motors, used cars of Eureka. All Union 76, Fortuna Paint and Glass, lettering by Andy Silva, thanks to Tom Sellers, Randy Bird, Cindy Andrews, Matt Jeep, and all the crew. From Eureka, car number 23, in the Camaro, 72 Camaro, Sean Andrews. And over to the 18 car, 1971 Nova, sponsored by the Playroom in Fortuna, car number 18 from Fortuna, Bob Thomas. And back to the 00 car. Don't know too much about this car. It looks like early 70s Nova, we believe, the 00 car from Eureka, Rod Meyer. And if you look at our lineup, you'll notice that we do have some of the slower cars in the back of the pack. Normally we have a completely inverted start, and the officials choosing at this time to place some of the cars with much slower qualifying times in the back of the pack. Normally we look at about 2 or 3 seconds. If a car is 2 or 3 seconds off the top time, the officials can exercise the option of starting those cars in the back of the pack. Rusty Olson, your fast qualifier, and the 5 cars behind him would have been slower in competition in timing tonight. So you might call this a modified inverted start with some of the slower cars in the back of the pack. And that really gives a bit of an advantage to Bob Wallace and Tim Standifer. Ordinarily, those 5 cars would be up in front. As we get set for a 17-car field, our Fortuna Merchants Street Stock Challenge for lots of money and, of course, all the points on the line for that track championship. Bob Wallace, Tim Standifer, Richard Butler, Mark Murray, top 4 cars, then back to Cortopassi in the 47 car, and Tucker at 29. Our Coastal Auto Mart Trans Am pace car brings them around. 50 laps of racing. This will be the longest street stock main on the asphalt, the richest purse, and I believe our biggest field ever of these cars. And we'll come around this time around. Let's get everybody to give these guys a big cheer and a big send-off. Wind it up. Let them hear you out there. 59 laps of racing. One more time around and we'll go green. Everybody in the field starting to pick up the pace. Lots of butterflies, getting really nervous, bunching up, bumper to bumper. Through turn 3 and 4, Wallace leads them down the line. There's a green. Rambling into turn number 1. Let's see if everybody makes it through okay. So far, so good. And Standifer gets out in front. The rest of the pack really maneuvering for position. Bob Wallace in the 70 car with Butler. And Murray right behind him. A little problem in turn 4, but manages to hang on. And Tim Standifer, who had real problems qualifying that car, starting to try to pull away from the rest of the field. A real dogfight in the middle of that pack. Shuri and Henderson side by side. And Mark Murray battling for position. Steve Henderson in the 1 car. Murray in 71, Shuri in 11. And Bob Wallace hanging on for second place. Mover flag being shown for Andrews, and John Andrews with a problem on the 23 car, trying to stay out of trouble. As the rest of the field comes around, and it looks like Andrews is not going to make it. He's coasting to a stop, and we will show our first yellow as the leader, Standifer, comes back to the line. Trying to get everybody slowed down, racing back for position. It gets kind of dicey here. Everybody almost makes it through. That's what happens sometimes when too many people try to slow down too quick. It doesn't take much. And look at that number 29 car. Lonnie Tucker. I can't believe that car's still running. Does that go in frontwards or backwards? I think he's going backwards. No? No, that car's going forward. I don't believe that. Look at that. That car's still running. Tucker with major problems, and also involved down there that beautiful. Tim McEwen giving an indication to the drivers to bunch them up nice and tight. And the sign going out one more time around, and we'll get set to go racing. Bob Wallace, Richard Butler, and Glenn Shuri, and Standifer says, hey, I'm ready to go racing. Let's go, gang. And there's a green. Immediately trying to get on the outside of Butler for third place, and Butler takes him right up to the line. Shuri makes it work so far. Butler stays right with him on the inside. A battle for third place. That pack of cars into 1 and 2, and the rest of the field will move around the 18 car. Bob Thomas, Standifer in the 55 car, the leader. Look at this scramble over in turn number 3. Heavy traffic as they come back to the line. And there's the challenge for Dinner Street Stock. The Universal Street Stock Challenge underway as Glenn Shuri now picks up second place, and Henderson tries to follow it through. Standifer in the silver bullet very frustrating for the lead cars trying to get through some of this lap traffic. It can be very dicey as the lead cars make their way through. Anderson and Graham all running very close together. Wallace in the 70 car starting to drop back as some of the faster qualifiers make their way around him. Cars have some easy running room. Let's see if they can make a challenge on Stanford. Now, Henderson on the inside, trying to catch the inside line of Missouri. Looks like he's got it. Steve Henderson picks up first place, and Graham tries to follow him through. Lap number 12 underway, and there's your leader. Challenging the number 1 Camaro, Steve Henderson. And the second time on the inside of Shuri. 50 laps will be the longest race these guys have ever run, and they've got to start thinking about that. It's not going to be easy. They've got to stay out of trouble. Blackman Timber Hewlett giving an indication to some of the slower cars to stay the outside line and let the quicker guys get by. And Graham and Nicholson putting on some big battle right now for second place. And Olsen in the 16 car moving on the inside of Tim McCracken. Rusty Olsen trying to make a move. A problem down at turn 4 brings out the yellow as Butler's spot in turn 4. That's the line. Vanderbilt brings it back. And Henderson in the 1 car. Graham in 4, Shuri and Olsen. And Richard Butler in the 41 car finding a little problem down in turn number 4. That incident, the red flag incident back several laps ago. And he may be an additional lap down. He may be 2 laps down to the leaders. That's unofficial at this time. 23 car of Sean Andrews out of action. Tim Standifer says, or Tim McEwen says one more time around, and we'll get back to racing. Plenty of time left. Lap number 17 of 50 long, hard laps. And this is where some of these guys will try to get a little extra advantage. Watch them closely in 3 and 4. There's the green. Let's see how they handle it. And Henderson uses some traffic to keep Graham behind him. And Glenn Shuri gets in trouble, and a bunch of cars get by the 11 car of Glenn, who is our point leader going into this event. Rusty Olsen going way high in turn 4. And now Graham in the 4 car is going to try to make some kind of move on Steve Henderson. Bob Wallace in the 70 car having a problem slowing down in turn 1 and 2. The 70 car exiting the racetrack. And here comes the leader, Standifer, working up traffic. And Rusty Olsen, your fast qualifier, has made his way up to 4th place. And those top 4 cars starting to close up the gap. And realizing that he has some faster qualifiers behind him. Let's see how they handle this one. Look at that. Olsen will try the outside of Graham in traffic. And now Steve Henderson has got some decisions to make. Sandifer, Olson, Graham, McCracken, Phyllis, and Shuri. Your top cars. There's the green. Top qualifiers hurrying into the back straightaway. McCracken gets a little out of shape, and Phyllis in the 73 car, the Buick Regal, slips by the inside for fourth place. Remember, Henderson in that one car would be a lap down unofficially to the leaders. Did not make it back to the yellow. Hangs on. Graham slipping down on the inside on Olson. Eric Graham, Rusty Olson, and Graham makes the pass in traffic. Graham in the Pontiac. So right now we've got Ford, Pontiac, Camaro, and Buick. Beautiful 55 T-Bird staying out of trouble and trying to lengthen out that lead as Graham will try to stalk him down. And don't count off the 73 car. Phyllis in the Buick Regal has done some excellent racing out here, and before it's over he could become a factor. It's taken him a while to make his way through the back. Tim Phyllis in the 73 car already has a second place finish this year, and he would very much like to get in that winner's circle. And now Sandifer, Graham, the rest of the field trying to move into traffic. McCracken in the 28 car running fifth, and Shuri. The one car unofficially a lap down for the leaders. Look out, turn number 3. Get into the infield, and that'll slow everybody down. Still lots of racing time. Tim Sandifer, Eric Graham, Rusty Olson, Tim Phyllis, Tim McCracken, Glenn Shuri. Top 6 cars in line as they line up bumper to bumper out of turn 4. There's the green. Fighting it out for that points championship. Remember, Glenn Shuri is the current points leader going into this program, who stands right behind him in the point standings. Lap number 38. Plenty of racing time left. Eric Graham really driving in hard into those turns in the Pontiac. Also gets a little slide out of turn 4 in the Camaro. Guys are turning times of about 17.5 seconds in race traffic, so they're putting on a pretty good speed performance in this speed time. And Phyllis in the 73 car got a little out of shape over there in turn 3, but managed to wrap it up pretty quick. Number 41, and the last clicking away, in the early going has had it pretty easy so far. And if Graham and Olsen and Phillips have anything left in those race cars, they're going to have to start putting the press on real soon. And Wallace in the 70 car back on the racetrack, but still experiencing some problems. Catch up with Tim Standifer in the T-Bird. And he picks it by Graham in trouble. Eric Graham in the 4 car shuts it down. He's out of action. And Olsen in the 16 car will inherit second place. A tough race for Eric Graham in the 4 car. That car just not able to make the full 50 laps tonight. Remember, this is our longest street stock main that we've had out here. Now, Standifer in a little bit of traffic. Himself. Olsen in the 15 car running second. Third place to Tim Phillips and fourth to McCracken in the 28 car. And here comes the leader, Tim Standifer, making his way through traffic. Second place, the 16 car, Ronnie Olsen. 73, Tim Phillips, 28, Tim McCracken. And Standifer right now just kind of wishing and hoping that nobody comes to follow him. As he comes by, he'll be looking for the white flag next time around. The leader down the back straightaway right behind Richard Butler in the 41 car. He'll get the white flag this time around. Time around, car number 55, Tim Standifer, and then Olsen, Phillips, and McCracken. And Tim Standifer on his way to second win of 1989, and second win in a row. He's caught up behind looks like it's going to be a factor at the line. Tim Standifer, Rusty Olsen, Tim Phillips, and Tim McCracken, car number 28. And those top 4 cars. Of course, everything unofficial. Hard to say who's going to pick up 5th place with all the lap cars in action out there. Our Tim Standifer. And unofficially, with that finish, this, of course, is unofficial. That should move Tim modifications after the car was heavily damaged. You're back on the 3rd. Looks like it's got some arrow on end on that. Tucker in the 29 car, Mark Murray in 71, and quarter past in Wallace. Fast qualifiers are just about 2/3 of the way back. We do have some slower cars that have started in the back with our modified inverted start. Graham and Olsen, the faster qualifiers, just actually about the middle of this field. They're through turn 3 and 4, 2 by 2, looking real good. Turn 1 and 2, everybody hanging on, looking good so far down the back straightaway. Murray in the Trans Am leads them by. Glenn Curry flying on the outside of Quarterback, and Henderson with the car on the inside. Look out. And so far, everybody gets around him. And Wallace, let's see if he can get out of the way before the cars come back. This is going to get kind of dicey. Let's see if we can get it slowed down. Hey, this is bad news, I can tell you right now. There's the yellow flag. And I was just kind of thinking that if anybody was going to get in trouble there, it was going to be the 28 car, Tim McCracken, but he did a great job of slowing down and staying out of trouble as Wallace now starts to back down. Yellow flag coming out on couple of things to mention if you're new to NASCAR Winston Racing here at Redwood Acres. Yellow flag laps do not count. So while we're into the yellow, you'll see the scoreboard down there between 3 and 4. That won't change while you're racing. Bumper to bumper down the back straightaway, and Murray will start to get on the gas right about now. Get a jump start on the rest of the field. Murray quickly trying to go to the front on the outside. That could be a dicey move, but so far Henderson makes the line, and Graham is right with him with quarterbacking on the inside. Losing power or just not being able to get that 22 car back around. And Henderson in the 1 car says right to watch. Henderson, Graham, McCracken, and Murray, your top 4 cars, all very ambitious young drivers. All looking to pick up a main event victory now. And here they come, there's the green. And sheet metal flying off one of the race cars as they come back to the line, but no problem. But watch them down the back straightaway. Don't go over that. Graham car. Forward. And on the green. Henderson leads them down the back straightaway. It might be a problem on Graham's car. Yep, he's in the pit area. We saw his car, part of the chassis or the suspension bottoming out at turn 4, throwing some sparks up in the air. You'll see that once in a while. It doesn't always mean that there's a major problem. That must have been off of Graham's car. That's the explanation. The air cleaner cover and whole top end of the air cleaner coming apart. There's some more down on the racetrack in turn 1. That is the actual air cleaner, I believe, off the car. And there's Graham back on the racetrack. Now, if you do, by the way, if you do go into the pit area on a yellow, you don't lose laps, but you start in the back of the pack. So you'll notice that the 4 car will be starting at the back of the pack. Time around, and we'll get set to turn loose. And now Graham, who was right up in 2nd place, and with a real quick qualifying time, he's going to have to work for it if he's going to get back with the leaders. Anderson may be sighing just a little sigh of relief there, knowing that the faster cars are back a few steps, Olsen and Graham. He has McCracken and Curry to end with behind him as we go in. And Henderson trying to put some distance between himself and the rest of the field. Stretches out that lead. Everybody single file. Lap number 8 is underway. A lot of races still to go. 30 laps scheduled for this week. And the 23 cars spinning around in turn 4. Andrews in the Camaro gets out of everybody's way. And some action in the back as Jim Phillips trying to make his way to the front. Cars now having trouble in turn 4. Wallace trying to get down to the inside. Yellow flag comes out. They will race back towards the victor. Here they come. So Henderson staying with the lead. McCracken, Curry, and Phillips, the top 4 cars now. Everybody else starting to get on the gas. Graham trying to jump a few of the field. And Graham, using a quick start, gets up to 4th place, and he's moving on the inside. Curry's in no longer. Get away from him. He's also one of the fastest qualifiers. And Olsen trying to make a move on Mark Murray, and Mark just laying Justin down on the back straightaway. And now Graham in the Pontiac, challenging second place car. Tim McCracken goes to the outside, now it goes out, and if he can do a little out-braking, he can stay at 3. And stay with it. McCracken on the inside line. And as those 2 cars battle it out for the lead, Henderson will be coming up on traffic. He'll probably be working some of these last cars. Down the back straightaway, and Tim Phillips in the 73 cars also there. A real battle royal for second, third, and fourth. And now Phillips has got the advantage over Graham if he doesn't get caught in traffic in the battle for second place, third place. And now Graham gets the inside line on McCracken. Look out down the back straightaway. There's 2 cars coming together, and Graham stays right with it. And look out on the turn. Single cars spinning around the whole back underway. Yellow flag comes out. Here's off the leader, Henderson. He makes it back to the line. Unofficially, Graham, the 4th car, is in second place. And then we go back to the 73 car of Phillips, and then I believe the 11 car of Glenn Curry. That's all unofficial. Lots of activity on the racetrack. Tim McCracken in the 28 car, the biggest loser of that battle down the back straightaway. Graham got to the inside of McCracken, and McCracken tried to keep that inside line. Graham did not back off. And now a little consultation over there with Mr. and Jerry Holmes. And we'll see if we can find out what that's all about. keeping the hammer down, trying to make that move on McCracken here. And one more time around, and we'll get set to go green. Guys trying to keep a little bit of warmth in the tires and get them to stick as much as possible. Anderson the leader. Graham very aggressive tonight. Let's see how they handle this start. Phillips is out for whatever he can get to. There's the green. And the first train into turn 1 and 2. Graham in trouble. And he's out of there. Jim Phillips picks up second place just like that. Curry holding down third. Faster qualifying time, if he has not lost the handling on this car, he may be able to make a pretty good challenge on Anderson on one to two. And Phillips looking for his main event win. 1989. White wall on the back straightaway that ago. And we did see some kind of flag off of somebody's race car as Matt Sumpler in the 7 car spun into the infield. Yellow flag out here on lap 29. Make sure he's set to go here. And whatever the problem was on Matt's car, Sumpler, he's definitely out of action for this one. Although it doesn't seem like there's a lot of damage on the race car. And Henderson's got to feel good about the fact that he won't have any traffic in front of him, but he's got to be a little worried about that car 73 right behind him. As Doug Shurey lets Phillips know that he's there. Oh, there's Danny. The 16 car, Rusty Olson challenging the 11 car, Glenn Shurey for third place. Here's the white flag lap, one more time around. Once again, the 23 car of Andrews finishing turn 4. and the rest of the field. Received his first main event win in a long, long time. And the whole family comes out to say hello. And I got to imagine that car builder and owner Alberti's got to be pretty happy. He's worked a long time to get this car one way or another. And a couple of our fast qualifiers, mainly Rusty Olson and Eric Graham, would like to add their names to that list. Not having made main event wins so far in '89. Looking good in 3 and 4, 2x2. Here they come. And there's the race. Into turn 1. What a traffic jam. Let's see if they all make it through there. 3 cars abreast. Quarterbassy caught on the outside, but manages to make it work. And Henderson very quickly skirting by to the inside of McGowan. This is where it gets dicey. Mack goes way high, staying out of trouble. Back to the line. Tim McCracken, look out, Olson and Henderson make contact, and Graham also involved. And there's the 12 car. We don't know anything about him, but we'll see how they come back here as the yellow flag comes out. And Graham just kind of slowing down as Henderson in the 1 car got in trouble. And this guy coming out at the last minute, we don't even know who car number 12 is. So.
That way!
Pat Walsh coming back to line. Looks like we've got a picture flag in hand, so we'll see where that's going to go. And that is being shown, I believe, on the 1 car. Look at, oh yeah, he's got a major problem there. Look at that left rear. And if not more, that tire completely down. So Henderson will go into the infield. Number 27, Pat Walsh leads him around once again. There's the green, and we're back to racing. Here's McCracken very quickly tries that outside line on Walsh, and it may work for him down the back straightaway. McCracken picks up the lead here in lap number 3. Shuri tries to follow him through alongside Murray in the 71 car. Watch out of 3 and 4. Some of the faster qualifiers, Olson, Standifer, and Graham trying to make their way through. Henderson makes his way back on the track. He'll be at least 1 or 2 laps down. And McCracken in the 28 car doing a breakaway from the rest of the field. Shuri holding down 2nd spot. And then Walsh still in 3rd. Now lengthening out that lead over Glenn Shuri, and now Olson in the 16 car pulling into 3rd place. Next man on Pat Walsh. Jim Phillips in the 73 car follows him around. And Standifer in 55 says, I'm going to try that too, and he comes around him. McCracken in the 28 car knows that he's got faster qualifiers back there. He is just going to try and put as much distance as possible between himself and some of those other cars. Henderson gives Olson a tap. Looking forward. So far, we stay green as Olson is slowly getting back underway. We'll see if he's going to try and make it back on the track. There's the leader, McCracken, finishing lap number 2. still on the gas, on the yellow. They are racing back to the start-finish line to get their positions. And Olsen trailing some dust, not too happy about the situation as he was tagged by the number 1 Camaro, Steve Henderson. Damage on Rusty's car. McCracken will lose all that lead that he'd built up, just almost a straightaway over Shuri before this incident came out on lap 10. Remember, this is 50 laps, so these guys have a long way to go. And fixing flag being shown on the number 1 car. Some of that fiberglass banging around in the wind causing a problem, and Henderson goes quickly into the infield. If he can make it back out before we go green, he would not lose a lap. But he was already down a lap or two to the field because of his earlier problem. So Henderson was not a factor in this race at the moment. He was already down a couple of laps, at least 1 lap. Keep behind you. And they are going to be his major concern when we go back green. And it looks like the track is clear and we should be able to get back racing. Lots of laps left before we finish up this 50 lap green start lane. And nose to tail, single file restart. Watch the rest of the field though. Everybody always tries to get a little greedy on these restarts. If you can get away with it, well, you try anyway. Let's see how they handle this through 3 and 4. Starting to get on the gas. And there's the green. McCracken once again trying to lengthen out that lead. Shuri's staying in second place, and now Standiford in the 55 T-Bird. And Phyllis in the Buick. That's going to be the battle to watch. Yellow flag is down once again. Know exactly what the problem may be. We're going to take a guess that there might be some kind of debris spotted on the racetrack someplace. I don't think we have any race cars in trouble anyplace. Exactly sure what the deal is. Okay, there's a warning flag on the 16 car. And we're going to take a guess that that may have been for a little bit of a jump on the green. Like I say, sometimes you can get away with it, sometimes you can't. And lights are out. We'll look for the green this time around. Everybody playing a little bumper tag out there. Here we go. McCracken says, I wish we could get some green flag laps in here so I can try and get away from these guys before they catch up to me. Top 4 cars starting to do a breakaway as Mark Murray will try to hang on to 5th place with Olsen challenging. about it. He's thinking about it. Nope, he decides to back off. This time he's got the inside line. Nice and clean. And Tim Sandefur takes his way in the second place. Meanwhile, that battle back there between Mark Murray and Rusty Olson. Those guys have been running door to door for about the last 3 laps. It looks like Rusty finally gets the advantage. So there's your top 4 cars down the back straightaway. Jim McCracken in 28, Tim Sandefur in 55. Wes Shirley hanging on for third, and Tim Phillips in the 73 car. Back to the line. Sandefur was ready to make a move, and McCracken said, nope, I'm going to use all the racetrack I possibly can. You are going to have to work for it. Now watch as they move into traffic. McGowan wisely goes high as the leaders come by on the inside. Max saw those guys coming and said, I'm getting out of the way of this racetrack. And now Sandefur coming right up on the bumper of McCracken's Camaros. And once again, they will approach traffic, and Matt Walsh in the Impala comes down. And Sandefur picks up the lead. And Tim Sandefur picks up the lead on lap number 19. McCracken not too happy about the situation. He will drop way back in the back. Phillips picks up third place. Stewie holds down second. And if Tim Sandefur's car is working as well as we've seen in the past, there's nobody that's going to be able to challenge it. There's your top 3 cars down the back straightaway. Sandefur, Shirley, Phillips, and Olson now unofficially with the in fourth place. Tim McCracken would like to get back some of that lost ground as he's working on some of the ball here. And Sandefur down the back straightaway says, well, okay, I got to work some traffic here, so probably try the outside line on quarterback. Now the battle's shaping up for second place as Tim Phillips would like to make a move in Missouri's Camaro. And Sandefur easily goes to the outside. Inside of the Camaro. Glenn Shirley from Fortuna holding on. Tim Phillips doing a fine job of keeping that second spot through traffic. Trying to get some distance between himself and the rest of these cars. Stay out of trouble. And now Phillips has the inside line on Shirley, but he's got a slow car. Look out. Phillips and Shirley into the wall. And as they come back to the line, Olson will be in second place. So Tim Phillips, if possible, will try to give you a rundown on where we are. We know the 55 car is out in front, and an educated guess would put the 16 car second. And possibly the 28 car third run. For cars on the lead lap. So it's Sandefur and Murray, the leaders. And the 28 car and the 29 car also on the lead lap. And that is, of course, unofficial, but we're going to go with that for now. As we get set to go green, lights are out. Sandefur leads them around. And here we go. with some of the faster qualifiers going around him. And Olsen in the 16 car would like to get his lap back. He is a lap down to the leader. Stanford starting to lengthen out that lead. And unofficially, the 28 car, 71, and 29 cars remain on the lead lap. Challenging McCracken, would like to get back up there. Now is when he would like to see a yellow flag so that he can bunch up and try and get his lap back. That Wallace to the 27th car, making his way back on the racetrack. And now Murray and Tucker in their own little battle. Remember, they're in this one for the moment, third and fourth place. Maybe on the outside. Nope, they were going to do things a little differently. Lap 33, and still plenty of racing time left. And the Coors Light Thunderbird is staying out of trouble, and at the moment staying out of traffic. Tucker in the 29 car says something is not right. He pulls into the infield, and he is going to be out of it apparently. And Mark Murray still working on Mike Portapassi here. They are not exactly racing for the position. Around it. And Henderson in the one car now. Back on the racetrack. He will be many laps down to the leaders. And our officials taking a close look at that one car with a lot of fiberglass slapping around. Number 55, the silver bullet now in front. Denver managing to stay out of trouble through all kinds of action out here tonight. go as he starts on 45. Everybody else running single file for the moment. Uh-oh, Standifer may be in trouble. Sounded like he might have had a problem as he came down the front straightaway. That car, the 55 car, Tim Standifer, slowing down. Don't know what the situation is. Just when we said it might be easy, he's got a problem. Murray will go by him. And Standifer is trying to stay out there. He may have lost some kind of compression. Who knows what the deal is, but that car is not back up to full strength. Now it sounds like he's back underway. Murray was the only car to get around it. And we're into lap 47. Standifer, I'm going to take a guess, is still the lead car because Standifer had passed him earlier. Gets around it. And now McCracken works on Tim Standifer's car. He is fighting some kind of a power problem. The car handles okay. Look out, Standifer into the wall. And the big question is, where do we throw the checkered flag and who's going to win the race? Standifer has been having problems and somehow got tangled up down there in turn 1 and 2, slamming into the wall. And we're going to have to take a real close look at the scoring sheets to figure out where everybody ought to be. So checkered flag coming out, and we will not go back to green flag. But at the moment, we don't know who the winner is. See, everybody's going to come back around and wait to see who won this thing. You notice that? None of them are going into the infield. I bet they're all going to stop and wait. So until we can get an official notification, we don't know who won this one. We'd like to thank you folks for being here who are heading toward the exits. We'd like to have you back Saturday night, just 6 days from now, Saturday night, July 1st. We'll be back with all 3 classes of cars, mini stock, street stock, and our super stock tour cars will be back in action. And as you make your way out, please be very careful with all the traffic and people moving around in the parking lots. And if you are going to try to make your way over to the pit area, please be very careful. Mark Murray in the 71 car, pole position. Interesting that Murray and Shuri in the 11th car put on quite a battle in that heat race earlier tonight when there were just 2 cars left. With the inverted start, those guys up front, we do have 3 cars in the back, McGowan, Andrews, and Doug Way, who were put to the back even though there are some faster cars in front of them. And Murray and Shuri start to get on the gas through 3 and 4. There's the green. And look at that traffic jam through turn 1 and 2. So far, everybody hang on. Shuri backs off quickly. And a bunch of cars split right on by McCracken, Olsen, and Shuri. In the sandwich as Murray leads him back to the line. And Quarterbassy on the inside. Mike Quarterbassy picks up the lead in the 47 car. That steel-bodied Detroit car with a lot of competition as Phyllis and Henderson are already banging bumpers back to the line. And Standifer with pretty quick qualifying times are making their way through this pack. Quarterbassy holding off those faster cars behind him. car would like to see a good finish here tonight. If he can finish in the top cars, he could possibly hang on to that point lead. And now Vanderbilt moving up the challenge. Tim Dillon in the Buick, obviously experiencing a problem, moving very slowly in turn 1 and 2. Cortopassi still hanging on for the lead as Henderson and Standifer now. In second place, a slower car in the middle of the track there for that. And the leaders make their way into turn 1 and 2. Mike Cortopassi in the steel-bodied car against some guys with the fiberglass and lightweight aluminum bodies. Going to be a little quicker. Look at those cars. And McGowan in the 22 car also with the problem. And now the top 6 cars starting to move away here. They are all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with Olsen now going on the outside of Standifer. And Cortopassi has been here before, and he knows that if he can hold that inside line, everybody else is going to have to get in on the outside. And that can be tough to do. McCracken and Standifer touching bumpers. He's going to make them work for it. They're going to have to go on the outside. Leading lap number 9. And now Henderson says he's going to try it. He may try to outbreak him in turn 3 and 4. Nope, and we are showing the leaders coming back once again. Coming up on the other side. Green flag lap ticking away. Plenty of racing time left. Lap number 10, and we're looking for 30 laps of racing. Top 6 cars. Hanging in there. Olsen in the 16th car was getting ready to make a move on McCracken. And as we mentioned, Cortopassi knows that if he can keep that inside line, he's going to make those other guys work for it. Olsen and McCracken are right on each other. Tim Standifer is starting to get a little itchy here to make a move, and he slows down. Standifer losing a motor down the back straightaway. Tim Standifer obviously with major motor problems as he's going yellow. And Cortopassi hangs on back to the line, so he will continue as the leader. And Tim Standifer started slowing down out of turn 1 and 2, and there is an obvious motor problem for the Coors Light Silver Bullet. And we're going to take a guess that unless there's a miracle happening, he is out of action for tonight. On the yellow, move through the dust from that dry sweep so that all the oil can be absorbed and out of the way and we can move. Are out. Mike Cortopassi leads him around. He will try to get a good jump on those guys. Right about now, he'll get on the gas as we go green flag racing. And very quickly, Steve Henderson says he's willing to try it on the outside again. And McCracken is right there looking to get on the inside. Rusty Olsen in the 16th car. Those 3 Camaros all staying right together. Henderson. To make his way up front, picks up second place. Olsen follows him through. Now McCracken challenging Cortopassi on the outside. Mike is going to stick to that inside line. And Olsen is going to try and squeeze by and use some of Cortopassi's tough way to do it. Now Henderson squeezing by on the inside. He says he'll try that inside line. Stay right there. Wait for those box cars and maybe have it happen. Lap number 18. And McCracken is getting alongside Portapassy's door. He may try to get him this time. Watch closely. Portapassy says, I'm going to stay right there. You're going to have to work for it. And McCracken may have it. Nope, he comes together. Portapassy gets in trouble. Henderson goes by on the inside. And finally, Jim McCracken breaks the stranglehold. And Mike Portapassy, look out, Henderson in trouble. Portapassy also all tangling in turn number 4. And we are going to show the red flag. And these guys are going to need to slow down with parts of race cars all over the racetrack. Along with the 16 car of Olsen, all coming together. And somebody over there in turn number 2 trying to pull some of the fiberglass off the front end of Olsen's car. Kind of a question mark about the work that is being done on Olsen's car right now with the red flag out. If he stays on the racetrack, ordinarily he would be able to keep his position. We'll see how they score this one. And we're showing lap 19 on the lap board. Red flag means that scoring would revert to the previous lap. We don't race back to the yellow or race back to the start-finish line when we show a red flag. And the red flag for the officials remains. Well, McCracken in the 28 car made it through that problem. And we don't see the number 1 car, Steve Henderson, on the racetrack. He's the fellow that had the, I think, the right rear tire go down on the car. That may have been what caused his car to spin in turn 3 and 4. And Henderson makes it back out in the 1 car. Also involved in the problem down in turn 3 and 4, he will get his spot back in 2nd place. And now I think we've got them just about the way they should be. Brittany Kewen says one more time around and we'll get set to go racing. As best we can tell from our vantage point here, that incident started when Henderson's car got out of shape, and we think that may have happened because he had a right rear tire go down. So bumper to bumper, here they go. Single file restart. Start with lap number 19 on the gas. And there's the green. And McCracken starts to lengthen out that lead. The rest of the pack very tightly bunched in 3 and 4. Tim Phillips trying to make some moves. Remember, Phillips is several laps down after being in the rear. And as best we can tell, the only cars that would be laps down to the leader at this point, that's unofficial, would be the 73 car and the 23 car. Everybody else unofficially on the lead lap. And Tim Phillips' car very loose out there as he goes through turn 2, but he manages to hang on. He's been having a handling problem all night long. once in a while. I think it's just the aluminum on the foot end dragging on the ground, and so far it doesn't look like it's a major problem, but we'll watch him as he comes back through. And McCracken in the 28 car is starting to lengthen out that lead. Remember, Cortopassi in the 47 car still hanging on to second place. Henderson in the 1 car would be third. And McCracken making his way through traffic. Tim Phillips, several laps down, is involved with the lead cars. In the 47 car says, I'm just going to stay right where I am. If you want to get around me, you're going to have to work for it. And look out, part of the 16 car comes off on the front straightaway, the whole front wrap coming off the car. And McCracken's in trouble. Tim McCracken slowing down. And we will have a race back to the start-finish line as the yellow comes out. Mike Cortopassi has got the lead. So the yellow initially coming out for some of the sheet metal coming off of the 16 car, and then Tim McCracken in the 28 car started slowing down coming out of turn 1 and 2. 16 car would be on the lead lap. The 1 car would be on the lead lap, along with the Shuri car, number 11, and number 71. Sean Andrews has had some problems. He's several laps down. So, of the cars on the racetrack right now, and as always, this is unofficial, all the cars on the racetrack are on the lead lap except for car 73 and car 23. Everybody else is on the lead lap and in their proper positions. This time around, Mike Cortopassi leads them back to the line. There's the green. And Mike very wisely hugging that inside line, and they're going to make the rest of the guys work hard if they're going to get any progress on it. And scheduled for 30 laps, so we don't have too far to go before this one's over. Tim Phillips trying to unlap himself. Remember, he is lapped down to the leader. Cortopassi may not realize that, so he's going to try to keep everybody that he possibly can behind him. In the lap number 28. And we'll be looking for Olsen slipping by on the inside. Nope, he can't do it. Rusty Olsen trying to pick up that lead. He wants to get a main event win. And now he's trying to get inside line again. In the lap number 29, and Cortopassi trying to make that Chevrolet just as wide as he possibly can. Once again, Rusty on the inside. Nope, he can't get it. And now Cortopassi and Phillips come together. And back to the line. Yellow flag is out, and a tough break for Mike Cortopassi. Look at the whole front end of his car is all torn up. Flag is out as we came back for the completion of lap number 29. And let's see what comes from the flag stand and the 73 car. There's the black flag, the consultation flag on the 73 car. And Phillips, if he obeys the flag, will be heading into the pit area, and he decides he's going to wait for one more time around. checkered flag. The question mark is, who's the winner of the race? Racing back to the yellow line, the 16 car got back there. Quarterpassy didn't make it back. And the winner of the race is going to be the 16 car, Rusty Olson. And car number 16, sponsored by K&M Glass, Mapix Auto Electric, and RAO Construction. The 1981 IROC Camaro, and Rusty, the victim of that earlier problem in 3 and 4 when Henderson got out of shape. And the sheet metal on that car is heavily damaged. You can still hear the aluminum dragging on the front end. And Quarterpassy in the 47 car, the big victim of this final go-round. Let's give him a big round of applause. Mike in the 47 car, just doing what you're supposed to do and trying to stay out in front. And Phyllis in the 73 car made some contact with Mike as they came out of that final turn. And Tim Phyllis did get the consultation arrows of Steve Henderson and Tim McCracken, the number 1, 28 cars. McEwen says one more time around, and who's turn to win? Car field, ready for 30 laps of racing, and right about now they start to get excited, turning on the gas, and there's the green. Into turn 1, Walsh and McGowan side by side, and now Walsh starts to string them on a little bit. Mark Murray in the 71 car pulls into third. The Fury's right with him. Look out, McGowan spinning into the infield, and he goes in. Good. And the yellow coming out on lap number 1, so I'm guessing we'll probably see a restart flag when we get set to go, as the first lap was not completed.
I got one of those.
Restart flag, an indication that the car is able to continue to get into their original starting position. And once again, everybody side by side, ready to go down the back straightaway. Faster qualifiers have got a lot of traffic in front of them. Those guys up front would like to stay there out of turn 4. There's the green. And 3 abreast into turn 1, but they've managed to keep it straight as they go down the back straightaway, picking up speed. Watch those guys on the outside. Lots of movement in the middle of the pack. So far, everybody hanging on. Leads them around. Fury in the 11 car has started to make a move on McGowan. He slips into second, and McCracken follows him through. The faster qualifiers starting to make their charge toward the front. McCracken, Fury all slip on the inside. Then McCracken picks up the lead. Lap number 3. And now Graham slips into 4th place. top 4 cars trying to break away from the rest of the back. Olsen now trying to catch up with some of the master qualifiers who made their way up front. Vanderbilt, the 55 car, is still working on traffic. Most of the traffic, he's going to try and catch up with those top cars. And the leaders come back to the line. They're putting lap on. Look out. Shuri and Henderson almost coming together in traffic. And now the top qualifiers have all made it around, and those top 6 cars are very evenly matched. They work lap number 9. Our scheduled 30-lap main event in the street stock division. And traffic could be a factor here. Nope, they all go to the inside. Everybody stays by. And Henderson gives a little tap to the 11th car. You know he's there. And Graham almost set to make a move on the inside. In the 27th car pulls into the pit area. And now Graham on the inside of Henderson, and Eric Graham picks up 3rd place. And now Graham goes to the outside of Shuri, but he's got traffic. He's got a place to go. Back into 3rd. McCracken using some of that traffic to push the distance between himself and the rest of the cars. Now Graham back into 3rd place. The lead cars back to field. Number 14. And now McCracken coming up on the 29th car. Lonnie Tucker goes to the outside. And Graham is going to try and use traffic to go way wide. And now Rusty Olsen on the inside of Glenn Shuri's Camaro. He may get caught in traffic. Make some kind of move on McCracken, but every time he gets up close, traffic. Number 3, Olsen and Vanderbilt come together. And the yellow flag is out. Those cars racing for position, and Vanderbilt looping the car, knocking Sparks up there, and he may have a tire down. The tires are okay, but some heavy body damage on the left side. No, he's going to, well, no, he was thinking about pulling into the pit area, but decides to continue down the back straightaway. There's your leader, car number 28, Tim McCracken, and then the 1 car, Steve Henderson. Eric Graham in 4, Shuri in the 11th car, those top 4 cars. The 29th car is a lap down, and the 16th car would be in 5th place.
That wouldn't have solved anything. No.
Our track officials looking over at turn 3 for Isu's Standifir's 55 car. He saw that driver's side door panel. Pretty well whipped up on that car. And Tim McEwen is going to take a look at the damage. Giving the warning flag on the 16 car, an indication that he has to be a little more careful when he comes up behind the rest of the field. Lights are out. We could see a start this time around, so watch them as they move through 3 and 4. They'll start to get on the gas. And here we go. Steve Henderson trying to make a quick move on McCracken's Camaro. Doesn't quite have the strength as those top 3 cars start to pull away from the rest of the field. And a real traffic jam through turn 1 and 2. Sparks coming off the back of the 55 car. He may have some problems on the Thunderbird as our leaders come back to the line. Very wisely trying to keep that inside line, and traffic comes by here. The top 2 Camaros are working hard. Henderson now on the inside trying to make that line work. Lap number 20. Henderson and McCracken together. Tim McCracken gets out of shape, trying to hang on back to the line. Henderson leads on the beginning of lap number 21. And Eric Graham spinning, coming back to the line. Henderson will be scored as the leader in the 1 car. Jury will be in 7th place. And at the moment, I have no idea who would be in 3rd. So problems as some of those cars work real hard in turn 2. 2 main event wins. Henderson leading back on June 21st. And Graham in the 4 car having a quick tire change. So we would believe that Graham would still be on the lead lap as laps under the yellow do not count, but that's unofficial, of course. So Graham will have a ways to go. Still plenty of racing to come tonight for our mini stocks and, of course, the super stocks. So glad to have you with us in another edition of the Winston Racing Series action here at Redwood Acres Raceway. So our lineup correct. And we have 9 laps of racing, laps 22 through lap 30 to go. Plenty of time for some of those cars. Standifer, Olson, McCracken, Graham in the middle of the pack to make their way up front. And Henderson would hope that they don't. He's got the advantage of a clear racetrack for a few laps before he gets back in the traffic. There's the green. Murray and Lonnie Tucker, who I think maybe laps down to some of those guys out there. We really don't know who. And Henderson and Shuri start to break away, but Graham back on the move again, gets to the outside of Portapathy. And he's got some racing time left. by side. Initial indication is the 71 car is on the lead lap, and that's unofficial. Anderson makes his way through traffic, going to the inside of the 12 car of Doug Wade. And Steve is going to try and put as much distance as he can between himself and the rest of these guys. They're coming around to the back. Olsen and Dandifer running side by side into turn 1 and 2. Dandifer still throwing sparks from that T-bird. Look rather easy, and he's got plenty of running room in front of us. He may not be back in the traffic before this one's over if he can hang on. Fury going to the outside of Thomas' car, and here comes Graham. Graham and Fury battling it out for second place. Lap 29 underway. Will be looking for the white flag this time around. One more time around. Steve Henderson, Eric Graham, and Clint Fury. The leader down the back straightaway. And Henderson looking for win number 2 out of turn 4. Checkered flag, Steve Henderson, Eric Graham, Clint Fury, and Tim McCracken. The rest of the field comes back to the line. And Steve getting the rest of the family members, I believe, out there involved in this photograph here tonight. Thanks a lot, Marty. Matt Walsh in the 27 car will be our pole sitter here as Tim McEwen holds up the sign one more time around. 71 Martin Murray. Tucker in the 29 car. 47 on photograph. Steve Anderson. Matt Kunkler in car number 7. Mentioned earlier that we've had 8 different main event winners in this speed stock division. It has been a battle royal. We could go green this time around. Walsh leads him through turn 3 and 4. They're 2 by 2 out of turn 4. There's the green. Turn 1, make sure everybody gets through there. Walsh leads them through the back straightaway. Tim McCracken is trying to make his way to the front. He goes to the outside of Walsh. Anderson, Murray, and Tucker holding down. And McCracken in trouble. Tucker gets around him, and look at the dust fly over in turn 2. Tucker gets around the car of Matt Walsh, and looks like we're going to stay green. A warning flag going out to the 27th car of Matt Walsh, and now all of a sudden look who's up front. Eric Graham has just twisted his way to the front of the pack. Both have body damage on them. Some of the other guys have suffered a few dents and scrapes. There's your leader, car number 4, Eric Graham. Here's the battle for second. Anderson goes to the outside. The rest of the field coming through, and already Graham will be coming up up on traffic as he approaches the 23 car, Sean Andrews. Lap 6 underway. And you can see some of that metal on Anderson's Camaro. And also on Rusty Olson's car has been torn up a little bit. Look out, Andrews into the wall and turned forward. So far, everybody's gotten through there okay. And this car to the bottom before the rest of the field comes through. Doug Way spins and turns forward. And he's up against the wall, and we're going to get a yellow and slow down. Yellow flag coming out after Andrews in the 23 car got out of shape, and then Doug Way, who apparently saw the problem in front of him and got on the binders a little too heavy. I believe he managed to keep it off the wall. Everybody running okay. Graham in the Pontiac. Tim Phillips in a Buick. Trans Am with Mark Murray. So a variety of car manufacturers represented, and I think we're still kind of concerned about the lineup out there. Lap number 8 is where we're going to get underway. Main event winners are seems to be some concern about the lineup for the second and third place cars. Henderson and Olson both have decided they would like to be second place. We run a single file restart, so they're going to have to line up bumper to bumper one way or another before we go racing here. And our assistant flagman Mike Peoples down giving the indication with the 16 car that Rusty ought to be in the third position. Rusty Olson, a winner back on July 1st. Main event in the street stock division. That was single file restarts. Lap number 8 scheduled for 35 laps, so everybody has plenty of opportunities to make their moves. And if anything, Eric Graham would have welcomed this yellow flag. He will be able to run at least a few laps without any traffic in front of him before he catches up with the slower qualifiers, so he'll have some clear running. Eric Graham, Steve Henderson, Rusty Olson, and Lonnie Tucker, the top 4 cars, then Tim McCracken and Glenn Shurey. Here they come out of turn 4, and there's the green. In the 28 car gets around Tucker, and watch that battle for second place now. Rusty Olson and Steve Henderson get ready to do battle. And Curry in the 11 car, your point leader going into tonight's racing, also moving up on the outside of Tucker's number 29. Back of the pack here is Walsh and Portapassi and Murray all the way down the back straightaway. Already the lead cars are in traffic. Graham threads his way by Andrews, goes to the inside. And Henderson and Olson follow him through. the 16 car, and all of a sudden we saw kind of a puff of smoke coming from that car down the back straightaway. Door panel off the left side of the car. You can see the heavy roll cages underneath, especially on the driver's side. 4 big pieces of heavy steel tubing underneath the very lightweight bodies on these cars. Position before the green flag came out. Conference with our leader out here, Eric Graham, in the 4 car. Apparent indication is that Eric was getting on the gas way too early. He was starting to move up the race speed down that back straightaway. Normally, we like to see these guys start to get on the gas in turn 3, but not really jump on it very hard until they get to about turn 4. And Eric is just going to wait for the rest of the pack to catch up with him. We've got at least one lineup adjustment to be made here before we turn them loose. For you folks who would like to take a look at our race cars and visit with your favorite drivers, see what these cars look like up close, you're welcome to make your way into the pit area after our final main event is complete tonight. Pit area is open to spectators at that time. Please be very patient, very careful when you get over there, because a lot of race cars being loaded on trailers, and some of these race cars are actually hot. And the 27 car, Walsh, is a lap down to the leaders, at least one lap, because Graham has made his way through traffic at least once. And the 71 car, Murray, is, I believe, also a lap down. The second place at the moment would be the 16 car, second place cars, Eric Graham and Rusty Olson. Time around as the cars starting to get on the gas in 3 and 4. Here they come, and there's the green. Very quickly, Graham down the back straightaway as Olsen tries to make his way through some lap traffic. He's caught behind Murray and going high, the 27th car. Now Olsen on the sliding into the infield, makes his way back on the racetrack. The running back on the 16 car. Olsen in the second place. He's got a long ways to go to catch up with the leader, Eric Graham. Graham trying to hit that $100 bonus. He won the trophy dash. He won the heat race, and right now he's working on the main event. Shuri very quickly sliding to the inside. Murray in the Trans Am. Here comes Tim Phillips. We haven't heard too much from Phillips tonight. He had some problems there. Didn't make his heat race tonight. Graham gets around the 12 car. Doug Ray in the lap 21, scheduled for 35 laps. Changed on the car, this should be about the fastest car on the racetrack. Murray in the 71 car going to the inside of rookie driver Doug Way. In single file. Olsen goes around the inside of Pat Walsh's number 27. Watch that battle between Lonnie Tucker, Mike Portapassi, and Bob Wallace. Those three guys putting on a great show here. They go right over the straightaway. At the moment, the 28th car, second, third, and the number of cars moved around here lap-wise. And the blue and orange fix-it flag going out to one of the 11th car and the 27th car. We'll check and see how they do. Fix-it flag on the 11th car. I don't know what the story may be. He's losing fuel out of that car. That's what the problem is. You can actually see some fluid leaking out of the rear end of car number 11. black consolation flag, and finally says, okay, here comes the leaders. They're going to make a battle out of it. Eric Graham and Russell Olsen, scheduled for 35 laps. They're coming up on traffic. Mike Portapassi and Lonnie Tucker could be very tough on race cars. They're racing in traffic, and Graham says, I'm going to go to the inside and see what happens. Portapassi racing with Tucker, and the leaders are caught behind him. This is where luck and skill come together. Graham makes his way through, and the gap closes as Olsen behind the Portapassi car. With 1 lap of racing this time around. Graham down the back straightaway, looking for his second win, and $100 bonus. White flag is out. 1 more time around. Graham in the 4 car down the back straightaway. Olsen with traffic in front of him. Graham to the inside of some of the left cars out of turn 4. At Mark Murray over in turn 2, spinning that car as he came by. Shuri in the 11 car made it back on the racetrack. I would imagine he was very reluctant to obey that fix-it flag because of the point situation. He wasn't in contention for the 4 car of Eric Graham, sponsored by Don's Auto Parts, Clary's Napa Auto Parts, John's Automotive, Performance Engine Parts, L&M Renter Incorporated, Drywall by Master Plan Construction. He set fast time. He won the Trophy Dash Heat Race and main event winner, Eric Graham. And Graham from Garberville, California, winning his second main event win in a row. Winner back last Saturday.
I couldn't read the writing last week. Sorry about that.
And our 30-lap main event ready to get underway. One car that did not make a qualifying attempt tonight, if you were here very early this afternoon. Tough break tonight for Al Acuna out in hot laps. They actually had a fire in the engine compartment in the 40 car, and no major problems with the driver, and everybody okay there, but putting up a big puff of smoke, and for a few moments kind of a frightening situation, but car 40 out of competition now. Again, we run the inverted start with the faster cars in the back of the pack, although we will modify that for some of these cars that have a little problem in qualifying or tend to be a lot slower than the rest. Those last 4 cars would be slower than the rest of the field, and our fast climber Tim Standifer will be able to start in front of them. All the other cars in the inverted order. Nice field for our Street Stock main event tonight. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Like 15-car main event. And lights are off. We'll go set to go racing this time around. And Murray in the 71 car. We'll face them down the back straightaway. Bob Wallace in the Camaro, car number 70, winning that heat race. Really showing some nice experience here for not having turned that many laps in competition. And through turn 3 and 4 so far, they look pretty good. And out of turn 4, we go green. Into turn 1, we may have a problem. Cars sliding all over the racetrack. A tremendous pileup. We've got about 6 or 7 cars down, and don't make that 6, 8, about 8 cars all coming together in turn number 1. We're trying to get everybody slowed down. And Portapassi in the 47 car underway. A up on the 16th car, Rusty Olson, his radiator going up in steam. Some of the other cars, we're not sure how much contact was made. As we came back to the line, the 28 car, Tim McCracken, got into the dust on the inside. And as best we could tell, he slid across the track and collected just a whole bunch of other cars. And our safety crews, folks from the Eureka Fire Department, with steam coming out of the radiator. And we'll see who else may be in trouble. Tim Standifer's down there, along with Eric Graham, Matt Kunkler, Doug Way. All involved to some degree. Food and Chowder House, you know where they are here, north end of town, huh, Skippers? And this will go to, I think she won last week. How does she do this? I think it's Ann Storer, if I got that right. I'm going to check and see how many entries Ann put in here. And you got a couple of certificates for some chowder there from our friends at Skippers. Hope you like seafood. Are you hungry? I think the concern is for some of those cars kind of straggling around in the back there and not tightening up the back as much as they possibly could. Go! And this time, the signs for one more time around, and we'll finally try to get this first lap in. Scheduled for 30 laps. And Murray in the 71 car once again up front. Wallace in the 70 car. Then Cortopassi, McCracken, Henderson, and Shuri alongside in the Camaros. 35 laps is the indication from our officials. And out of turn 4, we go green. Just in time, the 16 car, Rusty Olson, is in competition and will be on the lead lap. As the leaders go slamming into turn 3 and 4, Wallace comes back to the line. Bob Wallace, car number 7, Mark Murray in the 71 car, Missouri, points leader to the outside of Mark Murray and then McCracken in the 28 car. And Wallace knows they've got some fast qualifiers behind them. As much distance as possible before those faster guys can catch up with him. Already, Steve Henderson and Tim Standifer on the move. As they very quickly push to the front, scheduled for 35 laps. And the leaders already coming in. And really, side-by-side trouble on the Henderson car. Steve Henderson, motor problems into turn 1. And the leaders come out of 3 and 4. Bob Wallace, Brent Shuri, Tim McCracken, and Tim Standifer. Yellow light comes out. And very good possibility that we've got some oil down on this track from the motor on the Henderson car going up in smoke. And Eric Graham makes it back out. And Graham will be down at least 4, maybe 5 laps. I think he'll be down about 4 laps. So he would have to have a tremendous run here to be back in contention, and he decides he's not ready to go yet. Unofficially, the 16th car made it back for the start, so Olson in the 16th car would be on the lead lap. He made it out just as we went green. 5 laps, by the way. 35 laps for the Speed Stock main event. Lights are out. We'll go green next time around. Bob Wallace had built up a little bit of a lead, and then Glenn Shuri came up along with him. We have a single file restart. Wallace, I'm sure, will just try to get on the gas as quickly and appropriately as he possibly can, trying to keep those faster guys behind him. And here they come out of turn 4. There's the green. Shuri immediately goes on the inside. Glenn Shuri picks up the lead here on lap number 5. As he moves down the back straightaway, Tim Standifer, fast qualifier. Apparently didn't pick up any serious damage in that incident because he's already up to fourth place. Vandenberg going to the outside of McCracken as Thunderbird gets by the Camaros. And Graham makes it back out on the 4 car. And now Vandenberg and Wallace battling for second place. Vandenberg tries to outbreak him into turn 3 and 4. Apparently still some concerns on that car. And now the leaders will start to come up on some of the more qualifiers. Here comes Terry. And he corrects the field goes to the inside, and the rest of the field tries to follow along. And lap number 9 underway. There's your leader, the 11th car, Gus Terry, and now in second place. The third is Wallace hangs on. 3 cars abreast. McCracken and Phillips are trying to pull their way toward the front and challenge Bob Wallace for third place. Glenn Terry, car number 11, 55, Tim Sandifer, and car 70, Bob Wallace. Last 11 and lots of racing, lots of down the back straightaway. Terry wasn't sure how to move around the traffic, and he's lost the ground to Sandifer. Jennifer takes the inside groove, and he picks up the lead on lap number 12. Phillips in the 73 car. The leader has most of these cars now on the traffic. And Tim McCracken is working on the 70 car. Paul Wallace trying to make his way up there for fourth place. Remember, Graham in the 4 car is several laps down. We'll try to keep going here for the points. He would have a difficult time making up the 4 or 5 laps that he lost. The battle right now between Tim McCracken and Bob Wallace for fourth place. Lap 15 underway. And now McCracken once again trying to squeeze by the inside. Wallace holds the groove. Tim Phillips celebrating his 28th birthday, running third at the moment in the Buick, the 73 car. And Phillips works around the Gary Roberts car. Roberts goes a little wide. Halfway point, lap 17 underway, lap 17 of 35. McCracken has come around Wallace and now runs in fourth place. Tim Sandifer just kind of cruising down that back straightaway. Damage on the car apparently is not. Holding down second place and has that secured for the moment. As the 73 car, Tim Phillips has a ways to go before he can catch up with it. Fourth place car is the 28 car, Tim McCracken, and then back to car 70, Bob Wallace for fifth place. Jennifer has to work the high side on Mark Murray 71, lap 21 underway. At the moment, everybody running single file. Eric Graham and Tim McCracken going side by side. See how fastest car out here can make his way through traffic fairly easily as long as he doesn't get anybody side by side in front of him. Second place car, back to the 11th car with Glenn Curry in the Camaro. He now has at least 4 cars between him who are lapped down to the leader. Watch this battle between Murray and Mark Murray and Pat Walsh. They've been doing a little bumper action now as the second place car, Glenn Curry, goes to the high side of Mark Murray's Trans Am. 73 car getting ready to make a challenge for second place. Watch the battle, Glenn Curry and Tim Phillips. Phillips generally has had the faster cars qualifying. They're working traffic here, lap 28, as they come back to the line. The leader is Sandifer down the back straightaway. And now Curry and Phillips make their way through traffic. We'll watch and see if Tim Phillips can make a challenge to the Buick for second place. Starts to try and make that Camaro as wide as possible, trying to hang on to second place. Sandifer is going to go 30 and walks him out of turn 4. Phillips goes to the inside, moves around, and can't quite make the move. Glenn Curry from Fortuna, Tim Phillips from Ferndale. If either one of those guys won, they'd get that additional bonus from Lake Construction, $100 in this event. And Phillips, once again, very loose going out of turn 4. They'll not appear to have the handling to make a move on Curry's Camaro. See if we stay green or how we'll handle this. Here comes the leader, Sandifer. And Walsh gets back in there. Goes to the high side. He's out of everybody's way. And the leader down the back straightaway will be looking for the white flag this time around. Car 55, Tim Sandifer. Glenn Curry holding on for second place. The 73 car. And that's his car, Tim McCracken. Sandifer on the final lap. And let's see how the second and third place cars handle it once again. Handling problems for Phillips in turn 2. And checkered flag. Car number 55, Tim Sandifer. And second place to the 11th car, Glenn Curry. Unofficial, Tim Phillips. Third in the 73 car, and I believe we go back to Tim McCracken for fourth place. And number 55, Tim Sandifer, sponsored by S&S Plating, Lennon Brothers Auto Machine, Arcata Muffler, Tom's Sourdough Pizza, Resale Lumber, Arcata Body Shop, Sequoia Auto in Arcata, and it looks like that car was destined to go 35 laps, and that's all. Look at that radiator. Pretty good chance that they had some radiator damage in that incident and maybe just patched it up, hoping it would stay together. And the car, considering all the damage, handled beautifully. Tim with that brand new under 17 seconds track record, and Tim Sandifer. I have a sneaking suspicion that Tim probably stayed in the car while they were working on it, and this is the first time he's seen the front end since it got dinged up. Tim's mom, Starlene, celebrating a birthday tonight. Looks like we've got a nice, 14-car main event field here tonight? If I counted correctly.
Yeah, okay.
Pip McEwen says, let's get ready to go racing. Matt Walsh in the 72. Chevrolet, the 27 car, leads him around down the back straightaway. Cortopassi on the outside, then Henderson and McCracken as they come back out of 4. And there's the green. Wild dash into turn 1, 3 cars abreast. Henderson makes it through there. These guys doing a terrific job of staying out of trouble, but not for long. McCracken and Shuri sliding into the infield, and that will bring out the yellow. Just as we were thinking that even with all those cars side by side, we'd make it through lap 1. Tim McCracken and Glenn Shuri both. And they are giving the fix-it flag to the 11th car. Now for this start. Pretty good guess that he's going to lose some ground to Shuri if Glenn can do well in this event. And this time we have the indicator lights out. Everybody's lined up 2 by 2, and we'll try to get them racing again. Walsh in the Chevy, and then on the outside, Cortopassi in the 47 car. Another Chevrolet out of turn 4. They look good. There's the green. And into turn 1, Henderson tried to make a move in that Camaro and did not find any racing room. Cortopassi moves very quickly to the front. Bob Wallace and Matt Walsh are right together. And they come back to the line. Mike Cortopassi leads them back down the back straightaway. Matt Walsh, Bob Wallace, Steve Henderson. It's Phillips in the 73 car. Now Graham in the 4 car starting to make a move towards the front. And now Steve Henderson hustling his way to the outside. Goes around and is vying for 3rd place. And Walsh has got it in the Wallace in the 70 car. Oops, some contact made in turn 2. Graham gets on the binders and manages to save the Pontiac. Wallace in the 70 car now starting to make a challenge. And Cortopassi knows that his best opportunity is to keep the inside of the track to himself and make these sacrifices over the outside. Lap number 6 underway, and Bob Wallace says, I am going to try to get to the inside. Can't find any room. Now Henderson in his Camaro says, I know that I'm going to have to go outside of the Cortopassi. I've run into the car before. Now Wallace tries to go to the outside. He might make it work. Let's watch it. Henderson slips in behind Cortopassi. 3 cars, tightly packed. Lap number 7 underway on 35 laps. And those top 7 cars very evenly matched. Everybody scrambling for position. Wallace starting to go backwards now. And the 73 car fourth. Loses ground. Wallace hanging on for 3rd. Olsen in the 16 car up to 4th place with Graham on the inside. Faster cars making their way toward the front. And the leaders come out of the dust with 4 cars in front of them. Takes advantage of the situation and picks up the lead here on lap number 10. Henderson, the leader. Cortopassi back to 2nd place, and now Graham challenging Bob Wallace for 3rd. be a bit of a factor here. The rest of these guys race for position. And back to the line, the yellow flag is out. And we're not sure exactly what the situation is. It may just be because these guys can't see where they're going. Henderson, the leader on lap 11. And we'll be starting lap number 12 next time around. Fast timers, Tim Standifer in the 55 car and Olson in 16 still have got a fair amount of traffic in front of them before they can get to the front. Single final restart, and here they come. Anderson very quickly puts some distance between himself and the rest of the field as Graham now is pulled into second place. Tim Standifer moving to the inside of Wallace. He goes to fourth. Giving the warning flag to the number 1 car. We think that may have been because of the way he started the rest of the field when he went back green. And now Standifer in the T-Bird goes to the outside of Cornefassi. He picks up third place. The top qualifiers are starting to make their way toward the front. Tim moves through traffic going to the inside of Gary Roberts. Graham goes up a little stops over in the fourth turn. And they'll be coming around for the start of lap number 22 of the scheduled 35-lap main event. Graham tries to follow it through, and looks like there may be a motor problem on Series 11 cars. Hopefully not on that car as they went into the pit area. Top three cars, Tim Standifer at 55, Eric Rader at 15, Rossi Olson, and Mike Cortopassi hanging on for fourth place. Gary Roberts spinning over his turn 3 and throws up another cloud 2, car number 16, Rusty Olsen. And once again, the Roberts car having a little problem in turn number 2, but he stays out of trouble. Leaders come back to the line. Jim Standifer trying to make it 2 in a row. The winner here 2 weeks ago. And look out, Walsh in the 27 car up against the wall, taking a pretty heavy hit, and we will see the yellow lights come on. And Walsh is... now we've got the red flag out, and we're checking to see, okay, Pat is waving from inside the car, so he appears to be okay, but situation when you have a car making that kind of a heavy contact, you always have a major concern to make sure the driver gets out of there before any problems develop. You can see the radiator has gone up. Red flag coming out here on lap number 29. Walsh's 72 Chevy Impala took a heck of a licking. That is some heavy, heavy damage. And our indication from Tim McEwen is we're going to roll them here, so here they come. Standifer leads them out of turn 4. Graham tries to get by on the inside. Now we go and Wallace in the 70 car used a real nice slingshot there to pick up 4th place around Mike Portapassi. And the top 3 qualifying cars are running 1, 2, 3. Standifer had fast time, Olsen had second fast time, and then it was Eric Graham. And he comes around. Lap number 30 underway. And Graham goes way high and puts it right against the wall. He may have scraped some paint off the right side of that Pontiac. And Olsen may try to make a move here and come down the front straightaway. Lap 31 underway, and Graham continues to run that car right up against the wall, not really gaining any ground on Standifer's keeper. And the lap starting to click away. Wallace in the 70 car holding down 4th, and Portapassi in Phillips. Decides he'll rejoin the field. He will be many laps down to the leaders. Standifer comes back to the line. Lap 33 completed. Lap 34 underway. Look out. Phillips and Portapassi in trouble. And white flag is out one more time around. Dive into turn 1 and 2. Dust all over the place. And Standifer still the leader. Then Graham, Olsen, and Wallace out of turn 4. Checkered flag. Tim Standifer. Eric Graham. Dusty Olsen, Bob Wallace, and Mike Portapassi is going to hang on with that damaged front end. And this one wasn't any different. Tim Standifer picking up his second main event win in a row, winning here back on August 12th. Standiford now with 4 main event wins. Back on May 6th, June 3rd, August 12th, and tonight. He has not been doing well in the point chase for 1989. They had some problems on the car. They were unable to complete some main events. And Tim pretty much felt that it would be almost impossible for him to defend and retain his track championship, but he's sure going to try and win some main events out here to finish up the year. The 55 car, sponsored by S&S Plating, and out of the car, Tim Standiford. S&S Plating, Lennon Brothers Auto Machine, Arcata Muffler, Tom Sourdough Pizza, Resale Lumber, and Arcata Body Shop, sponsors on this Coors Light Silver Bullet. And there you see the banner from AC Delco, GM General Motors Corporation, sponsors of tonight's event. Tim's going, no, wait a minute. I'm driving a Ford, and I have to stand in front of a General Motors banner. Uh-oh. Now, what's on your hat? What's on the hat, Tim? Does that say Ford on there? No, it does. You know what? I bet they make you take that hat off just for the picture they sent to AC Delco. They might ask you to do a rolling start, I believe, on these cars. Presenters escort tonight, Tarzan from KXGO. Hello, Tarzan. That guy right there. And we're scheduled for 30 laps in our street stock main event. And once again, track conditions appear to be okay. In answer to that question, yeah, we'll try to run the mini stock main event as weather allows. 30 laps for the street stock. Pace car from Coastal Watermark leading him down the back straightaway. 47, Mike Portapassi, Bob Wallace in the 70 car. Tim McCracken in 28, Tom Sellers in the 7 car tonight. Glenn Shurey in the 11 car, points leader going into the show tonight. Henderson in the 1 car, Steve Henderson. Rusty Olson in 16. Rusty starting tonight 10 points behind Glenn in the chase for the Hoyt Championship of 1989. Eric Graham in the 4 car in the Pontiac from Darverville. Tim Standiford, fast timer, and Tim has won the last 3 main events in the Coors Light Silver Bullet. He's back there a ways in points, but he still mathematically has an opportunity to gain a lot of ground here. 27, Pat Walsh in a brand new race car tonight. The 12 car, Doug Way. And the 23 car, Sean Andrews. Sean making his first appearance tonight, unable to qualify. Camaro. And Tim McEwen says, let's get racing while the racing's good. Portapassi is going to lead him down the back straightaway. Mike has 1 main event win. Tim McCracken with a main event win. Shurey, Henderson, Olson, Graham, Standiford have all won main events, at least 1 main event. And out of turn 4, we could go green. Into turn 1 and 2, McCracken on the outside, then Shurey and Olson. Bob Wallace in the 70 car really having a slow time. The yellow is out. Apparently a couple of the cars out of position on the green. So the red and yellow flag will indicate that we're going to get a restart. Everybody gets their original positions back. Indication from our officials there may be a problem on the 27th car, some kind of fluid coming from that race car. So like Peoples with the blue and the orange fix-it flag. And that's going out to the 27th car of Pat Walsh. The Camaro making its first appearance. A lot of times there are problems that are obvious to you and I up here in the grandstands that drivers are not aware of. Sometimes you don't know what's going on with your race car because you're inside and it's all around you. So Pat may be wondering whether that fix-it flag was for him or somebody else. And our officials are stopping him over on the back straightaway. I guess they're going to give him the verbal word that he's got a problem on the race car. Maybe take a look at it. Jerry Holtz and the rest of the crew examining the undercarriage there back by the fuel cell. Street stock main event portion of our Humboldt Supply 100. Nice to have you with us here as we're just trying to move things along as quickly as possible and get all the racing in. Our main events are all important for the drivers, car owners, and so forth, because that is where all the points are of the track championship. Once again, lights are out and we'll look to go green next time around. And Walsh in the 27 car, apparently he is okay, so they're going to let him get underway this time. Portapassi is the pole car, Wallace on the outside. There's the green. Watch him into turn one, a real battle as we have Wallace in the 70 car very quickly going to the back of the pack. That car obviously not up to its usual speed. And back to the line, Portapassi in the 47 car. It's a battle. McCracken going to the outside in the black Camaro. That should be dicey up on top. And everybody bumper to bumper into turn one and two. Flag once again out on the 27 car as we watch that battle. Graham in the Pontiac goes to the high side. Eric Graham trying to outbreak those two Camaros to the inside of Glenn Shirley. And Graham makes the outside line work. Eric Graham from Garberville picks up the lead on lap number 4. Faster qualifiers making their way up front, trying to make a move on going to the top of the racetrack, working his way around Glenn Shirley, Henderson, and McCracken in the 1 car and 28 cars. Steve Henderson decides he'll try the same move. Second, third, fourth, and fifth place cars are side by side down the back straightaway. And Olsen trying to outbreak Portapassi into 3 and 4. Looks like he might have it this time around. In the Camaro, still battling with Portapassi as Mike is going to make these guys go all the way around the hard way. And now Steve Henderson says, I think I can go that same trick. Look out. Portapassi holds the inside line. Lead car, Eric Graham, leaving everybody else behind as the battle for second, third, fourth place is where we're seeing all the action. Bob Wallace in the 70 car is trouble with 3 and 4. Like he may be getting a fix this time. tire and wheel as he came out of turn 2. And so many times before we have seen that same scenario. We don't know for sure that it's going to be the case this time, but it's happened many times this year that those center of the wheel is actually broken apart. And that's him waving to the crowd. Sometimes you see a situation on TV and NASCAR where maybe somebody forgets to get all the lug nuts on there. That's usually not the case out here. We've had the wheels actually break apart because of the tremendous centrifugal force that these cars exert in the turns. And Tim's night is probably done for the evening as he's out inspecting the car in the infield. I've mentioned that the car is for sale, but I don't know if this is a good time to do that. The red flag coming out on lap 10, scheduled for 30 laps, so plenty of time for the racing. And if anybody lost ground on this, it would be Graham in the 4 car. He had a fairly substantial lead over Olsen in 16 and Henderson, and now they will start bumper to bumper. And McCracken decides he's going to go ahead and just jog right into the pit area over there at turn 1 and 2. Well, we have an opportunity. Let's mention that Chris Goslin from Eureka has a t-shirt. And Teresa Counts from Rio Dell. We're still looking for you to come up and claim your prize as well. And out of turn 3 and 4, there's the green. And Graham very quickly trying to build back that lead. Sprinting down the back straightaway. Henderson's staying right with Olsen. Now Standiford moves to the inside of Glenn Shuri's Camaro. Glenn would like to stay in that top 5 to continue to rack up track championship points. Standiford going to the high side of Cortopassi down the back straightaway. Left-hand turns as the leaders already begin to gain ground. They come around the 27 car. Lap 13 underway, scheduled for 30 laps. And Tim Standiford in the Coors Light Silver Bullet is on the move. Remember, he had fast time. And he has won the last 3 main events in a row. He's still got plenty of racing. We're not even halfway through. They will be finishing the halfway point this time around as Graham comes out of turn 4. Top 4 cars are in line. Graham, Olsen, Henderson, and Standiford. Mike Cortopassi trying to hang on to 5th place as Glenn Shuri takes his Camaro to the outside. Third place is beginning to shape up. Standiford looking to the outside, and Henderson is now trying to make that Camaro as wide as he can get it, using up the racetrack. And Cortopassi and Shuri in the turn 1 and 2 still battling for 5th place. And now Standiford gives Henderson a little nudge and goes to the inside. Team Henderson does not want to give up position, but he just had to. Look out, Henderson and Standiford playing bumper tag as Miller slides into the infield. Here comes the leader back to the line, and the yellow flag comes out on lap number 19. Initially, the problem with Henderson and Standiford as they played a little bumper tag in turn 1 and 2, and then Tom Sellers came out of turn 4 and into the infield. And just joining the field is the 40 car, brand new driver and owner on this car. Rod Combs is the driver, and the car is owned by Richard Morris. And that car may already be having a little problem out there. Well, maybe he's just on a little shakedown cruise. Lap 19 underway. Sponsors on the 40 car, Finnegan and Nason, Earth Station Satellite TV, Mike Chevron Service, Enterprise Mortgages, California Waterbeds, National Auto Recovery, and Big Red's Auto Repair. As that car has changed hands and changed drivers. And one more time around, and we'll get them rolling. 19 laps complete and single file restart. Everybody's eager to get on the gas. And Graham leads about turn 4, and there's the green. And now Sandifer on the charge, moving to the inside of Rusty Olson's Camaro. Sandifer and Olson side by side as they come back to the line. Olson now slipping back to third. There's your fourth place car, Glenn Shurey in the 11th car, unofficially fourth, with the 7th car of Tom Sellers a lap down to the leader. Shurey working on Sellers' car, trying to move through traffic. Henderson, who had that problem earlier, trying to get back with the leaders. Lap 22 complete. Shurey goes to the inside. Glenn Shurey in fourth. And Graham coming back to the start-finish line. And Graham probably aware by now that the fast qualifier, Sandifer, is gaining ground. And let's see how the young man from Garberville handles the Coors Light Silver Bullet. Sandifer coming right on his bumper, trying to squeeze to the inside. And Graham sprinting down the outside. Pontiac versus Thunderbird. They'll be completing lap number 25. With 5 laps to go as they come back to the line. Graham now putting some distance between himself and Sandifer. Sandifer trying to make it 4 main event wins in a row. Graham has also been in the winner's circle in '89. Sandifer once again right by his quarter panel down the back straightaway. Completing lap number 27. Sandifer for 5 main event wins. Eric Graham with 2 main event wins. And now Tim decides he's going to try the outside line on Graham's Pontiac. 28 laps complete. And they will show the white flag. One more time around. Now Sandifer to the inside. Graham goes high. Tim Sandifer, Eric Graham, both of them going side by side. Turn 1 and 2. White flag is out. One more time out. Sandifer picks up the lead on the start of lap number 30. Graham says, okay, nothing I can do about it now. He may try to outbreak him into turn 4. He's running out of racing time. Back down the front straightaway. Checkered flag, Tim Sandifer. Eric Graham. Rusty Olson finishing third. Glenn Shurey in the 11th car will be scored fourth. And Tim Sandifer makes it 4 main event wins in a row, and this is number 6 of 1989. After having a real struggle mid-season, Sandifer really pouring on the coal here in the closing races of 1989. And for the moment, Shurey in the 11 car will maintain his point lead
Ducks. How many? 20. 2-0.
I'm sure he was down lap 3. I know he wasn't on the lead lap.
We get set to finish up this restart. Welsh in the 10 car, pole position. Remember, inverted starts, lower cars in the front, faster qualifiers in the back. And then Rodney Combs in the 40 car, Pat Walsh in 27, Mark Murray in the 71 car. 2x2, scheduled for 30 laps. They move through 3 and 4. And after 4, there's the green. And it's a scramble into turn 1 and 2. Combs out in front, and Walsh right behind him. Some of the faster cars already on the move. Glenn Shirley very quickly moving to third place as Walsh holds down the lead on lap number 1. Combs going to the outside as Doug Way picks up third place. Here comes Henderson on the outside. A real scramble in these opening laps. And now Shirley setting his sights on the Camaro of Pat Walsh. 35 laps of racing, and Shirley trying quickly to get to the front. Now Henderson goes by on the outside. Here comes Olsen and Way. On the front straightaway, Shirley in trouble along with Walsh. The red light is out as we completed lap number 3. And Shirley in the 11 car, still able to move under his own power after taking a pretty good smacking into the inside wall. And you can bet right now that Glenn is just hoping and praying that somehow that race car can run and still be competitive. He has got to finish well in this main event to have a chance at the 89 championship. And Glenn was starting the night trying to be so tentative with the race car, knowing that he had to have a good finish in this main event. As we go back to the previous lap on a red flag, so officially 2 laps have been completed. We'll be starting lap number 3. And everybody on the racetrack is on the lead lap. Single file on the restart. And Redwood Hughes is one more time around to number 33. Lights are out. Down the back straightaway. Steve Henderson in the Al Berkio Camaro. As they move through 3 and 4, here they come. Out of turn 4, there's the green. Henderson very quickly down the back straightaway. Look out, Olsen moving to the inside of Doug Way. He can't find any racing room, and Eric Graham on the move in the Pontiac. Graham takes it way left into turn 1 and 2. And here comes Standifer in the Coors Light Silver Bullet. Graham and Standifer, your top 2 qualifiers, making their way through traffic. Well, on the racetrack. And right about now, Henderson will just take it easy through 3, and right when he hits that point, he's going to try and put some distance between himself and the rest of the car. There's the green. And once again, it looks like it's going to be a breakaway for the top 4 cars. Turn 1 and 2. He'll be a few laps down to the leader. Up with some traffic. Let's see how they handle it as they will go the inside as Tom Welch is forward. And Mike Peoples gives the warning flag to Graham in the 4 car. Graham gets in trouble in turn 2, sliding into the infield. And losing ground quickly. McCracken will pull into 4th. Graham back underway. Here comes the middle for the lead. Olsen to the inside, trying to make a move on Henderson. And down the back straightaway, it's now Henderson, Olsen, and Vanderberg. Graham has a lot of ground to make up. Steve Henderson, leader, will come around for the completion of lap number 15. With 20 laps to go. The T-Bird decides to put an outside line on Olsen's Camaro. The leaders into turn 1 and 2, and Danforth backs off just a bit as one of the 4 cars is right up in the groove. Portapasky and Murray there on the lead lap. And now Vanderbilt makes a move down the back straightaway. Olsen caught in traffic. And Vanderbilt goes to the outside and picks up second place. Doug Way in the 12 car with a very strong action over in turn 2. The faster car, he's going to try and use as much racetrack as possible. And Standifer is going to have to work for it. And Olsen now begins to make his move back to the front. And Standifer and Henderson clumped together. These guys are going at it. Both cars picking up some damage. We'll see what kind of activity we'll see on the flag stand as the leaders come back to the line. Coming out to the 55 car. much racetrack as possible and make Stanford work for it. Lap 23 completed, and we'll come around for 11 more laps as the leaders start to move into traffic once again. Now a lap down to the leaders. McCracken in 28 is your fourth place car. Top three cars, Steve Henderson in the 1 car, Tim Stanford in 55, Olsen in 16, and then back to McCracken in 28 for the fourth place car. He might have lost the motor as his tires just laid down a curtain of smoke. And Stanford spun through it. Olsen in the 16 car. There's your lead car. And we'll check the lineup before we go back green. 27 laps completed. Once again, a warning flag to Stanford in the 55 car. And also a warning flag on the 1 car of Steve Henderson as well. And with the scramble, the only thing I can tell you at the moment is the 16 car is the leader. He made it through that match. In the 4 car and Way in the 12 car, I believe, are laps downs to the leader. McCracken may be the 2nd place car. That's unofficial at this point. As we've had a little bit of a scramble here with these yellow and red flags. And I'm going to take a guess that Cortopassi in the 47 car may be the 3rd place car. He is also on the lead lap. So 16, 28, and 47 all on the lead lap. Those are your top 3 cars. And official indication, unofficially from our scorers, is the 55 car also is on the lead lap. Be at the back of the pack. That's what they're trying to handle at the moment. And also still officially on the lead lap. Leader Rusty Olsen, and then back to Tim McCracken. He's running 2nd. The 4 car and the 12 car are at least 1 lap down. Cortopassi is 3rd, and I believe the 71 car is also on the lead lap. Here they come for turn 3 and 4. There's the green. Graham may be a lap down to the leader, but he would like to get one of those laps back. Flag out on the 28th lap. We don't know what caused that, but and Tim taking a Real slide down that back straightaway. Safety crews and the Eureka ambulance crew on the scene with the Ford T-Bird of Tim Standiford making some heavy contact into the wall. We don't know exactly how that incident developed down the back straightaway. Initial indication from our officials that the one car has been disqualified. And there's the wave from Tim McEwen. And we understand that the one car was possibly involved in that incident. We anticipate that it's probably going to take a few minutes, in fact, maybe many minutes before the situation can be cleared up. Drivers a little chance to get some warmth back into the motors and the tires. With this long a delay, they really do need a couple laps just to get everything working once again. One more time around and we'll turn them loose. We completed 27 laps, scheduled for 35, so still some racing time available in this final street stock event of 1989. And Olsen leads them through 3 and 4 single file. Here they come out of turn 4. There's the green. McCracken already on the move. Remember, he's on the lead lap. He would like to make an effort to try and challenge Olsen in the 16th car. And Graham would like to get his lap back. Graham right up against the wall. I got to believe he only had inches to put himself on that back retaining wall down the back straightaway. Really working hard on Olsen's car. Coming around for completion of lap number 30 with 5 to go. Working on Olsen. Second place car is the 28 car of Tim McCracken, and third place is the 47 car of Mike Motorpath. Laps down for the leaders. Come around for completion of lap number 33. And next time around, we'll lap. We mentioned that we are going to go immediately to our other two main events. And as time allows, we'll do our trophy presentations following the conclusion of our main events tonight.